Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Anarch Gaming here, and today I'm hanging out with Keldon. He's going to be my co-host for most of the series, if not all of it. We are going to be ranking the commanders from the ages. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off strong. We're going to start off strong with Adun Oakenshield. It is a 3-mana 1/2 for green, red, black that says pay green, red, black, and tap it. Select one creature from your graveyard and place it in your hand. So, in my opinion, this is pretty good. It's a revival spell on a creature. Based off of this set, so far I'd say this is probably a A tier.
Well, it's 3 mana to bring out. Which is alright, you have good colors. And then it's 3 mana, but one of each of his colors. Yes. You know, it would have been nice if this colorless.
Yes.
To put one creature, 3 mana, and tapping him. So once per turn, to put one creature into your hand.
Yeah. But you also have to think back then, that's when the dual lands were already out. So you have pretty decent access to colors.
Yeah, but back then you also had shit creatures to put back in your hand.
Yeah, but when looking at this, I'd say it's probably one of the better ones.
Maybe.
Okay, so we're gonna start off by putting that one at a B?
Sure.
Alright, we'll put it at a B. And then Angus. This guy is fun. I like Angus. So Angus is a 3-mana 2/2, white, blue, green, and you pay white, blue, green. Tap it, and creatures attack and block as normal, but none deal any damage during combat. All attacking creatures are still tapped. Use this ability anytime before attack damage is dealt. So this is pretty good. This is a Pillow Fort kind of commander. I'm actually building a deck with him right now. It's a Pillow Fort deck. I'd also put him in about a B tier.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. I mean, just turning off combat damage for a turn is pretty good. Could be used as a pretty strong political piece, saving someone, or, just no combat damage for him. Compared to the other guy, A.
A? Okay. Alright, next one is probably the coolest name on a Magic card.
Arcades Sabbath.
Arcades Sabbath.
He looks like he's gonna, rail your mom or something, bro. He is scary.
I think it's a chick.
She is scary, and I think she would still rail your mom.
I think Arcades is a chick. So Arcades Sabbath is a, 8 mana? Yeah, 8 mana, 7/7. 2 generic, 2 white, 2 green, and 2 blue for a Summon Elder Dragon legend. It has flying, and you can pay one, pay 1 white, and give it +0/+1 until end of turn. Your untapped creatures gain +0/+2, and attacking creatures do not get this bonus. Pay white, green, blue during your upkeep, or Arcades Sabbath is buried. Personally, if you can get the mana to cast Arcades, I think she's very strong. She helps buff your dudes so that you can protect yourself from blockers. And then when you go into combat, she can buff her own defense in case, someone's blocking with their own Arcades or another Elder Dragon. So if she wasn't so much mana, I would rank her probably in the S tier. But because she's so much mana, I'd probably have to drop her to a C. And also that upkeep is annoying. So for that, we are going to agree on a C or a B? Or no, a C or a D? D? Okay, we'll go with D. Arcades Sabbath, you're a D. Next up, we have Axelrod Gunnarsson. Holy, dude, I can't. Is it Gunnarsson? I think it is. Okay, this costs 8 mana again. But it's 4 generic, 2 black, and 2 red for a 5/5 with trample. This does not have a creature type other than legend. And it says trample, and then each time a creature is placed in the graveyard during your turn, in which Axelrod damaged it, you gain 1 life, and Axelrod does 1 damage to target player. This is 8 mana. This is bad. This is F tier.
This is, yeah.
Yeah, this is F. I don't know if we need to even go farther into it. This is very bad. This is a very bad card. Do not play this card ever. We're just going to move on because that was not good. Aisha Tanaka. 2 blue, 2 white for 2/2 with banding. Tap. Artifact effect which requires an activation cost is countered unless its controller pays 1. This is played as an interrupt. So it's played as an instant. Oh, sorry. Pay white. What is banding? Banding. Any creature with banding and up to 1 without can attack in a band. Bands are blocked as a group. If any creatures with banding you control are blocking or being blocked by a creature, you divide that creature's combat damage, not its controller, among any of the creatures being blocked by or is blocking it.
Sounds like an irrelevant ability.
Yeah, you just assign combat damage differently, essentially. And to be honest, that ability's not even that good for this time. I'd say C, maybe low B.
Yeah, I could see a C for her.
Alright, so we're agreeing on C?
Yeah.
Alright, Aisha Tanaka, you are C. Next up, we have Barktooth Warbeard. He is 7 mana for 1 black and 2 red. For a generic, 6/5. F. Okay.
No ability. You want 7 mana, yeah. Not even a 7/7 for 7.
And his flavor text isn't even good. He is devious and cunning in both appearance and deed. Beware the Warbeard, for this brute bites as well as he barks.
Bro, his name is Warbeard. That's kind of badass.
If I could go back and rename my Sea of Thieves character, it'd be Warbeard. Next up, we have Bartel Rune Axe. It is a 6/5 for 6. 3 green, or no, 3 generic, 1 green, 1 red, and 1 black. And it says Bartel Rune Axe cannot be the target of enchant creature spells. Attacking does not cause Bartel. Yeah, it's Bartel. Bartel Rune Axe to tap. So it cannot be the target of auras, essentially, and it has vigilance. I'd say that's pretty good. And it's 6 mana. In my opinion, I'd give it a probably an A tier.
So, are we ranking these for how they do in a game today?
No.
Or just among their time?
Among their time, and then as we go
Okay,
along.
because I was going to say, all these are going to be C and below.
Well, yeah. They're not good in today's time. Sorry, I give you no context as to what we're doing.
Okay.
To be honest, yeah, it's fine. So, in my opinion, I think it's an A tier.
I mean, vigilance on a 6 mana 6/5 and can't be the target of
Auras.
what was it? Enchant creature spells, auras.
Yeah, so auras. Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah.
I don't know how many auras there were, and whatever year this was, 1990 something.
1994. Yeah. I don't know either, but his art's cool. He's cool. Got pretty good stats. I'd say he's an A tier.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we agree. All right, A tier for Bartel. Next up, we have Boris Devil Boon. Devi Boon. Boris Devi Boon. Is that Devil? Yeah, Boris Devil Boon. I can't read. All right, and he is a 2/2 for 5 mana. 3 generic, 1 black, and 1 red. That's already F tier, but he has an ability. You pay 4, you pay 2 generic, 1 black, 1 red, and then you tap him, and you put a minor demon token into play. Treat this as a 1/1 red-black creature. F. You can tap 4 and him to create a 1/1. And he himself is a 2/2 for 5.
I don't know, that's pretty good if you ask me.
I think it's awful. I'm giving him F.
F, yes.
Next up, we have my favorite Elder Dragon because they're cool. Is Chromium. It is a 7/7 like all the Elder Dragons. For 8, like all the other Elder Dragons. But this one is 2 generic, 2 black, 2 blue, and 2 white. and it has Flying and Rampage 2. I will read what Rampage 2 does in a minute. His ability is like all of the other Elder Dragons, which says if you don't pay one of each of their colors, then you sacrifice them at the beginning of your upkeep. So that is, what they do. Anyway, Rampage, in this case Rampage 2, is whenever this creature becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn for each creature blocking it beyond the first. That's pretty good.
It's still the same problem as Arcades?
Yes.
The first Elder Dragon.
But I think this ability is better than Arcades.
It is, but it also has flying, so...
Yeah.
Most...
Which, if you're flying and someone tries to block Chromium, it just gets bigger and can swing over. It doesn't have trample, but it'll kill basically everything that blocks it unless it has Death Touch.
Still has the problem paying that black, blue, white on your upkeep, though. You have 8 mana and you get cut down to 5 every turn.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think in this case that's actually that bad. My problem with it is that it costs 8 mana. That's my only problem with it. Other than that, I think it's an A-tier commander.
For its time, I guess it's alright.
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing for all of these. They're for their time. So what do you think? What ranking?
Right.
What ranking do you give it?
Probably a B.
Alright. Well, I was giving it a high A.
Well, then
so
give it an A.
Alright, so we'll give it a low A to meet in the middle. Next up, we have a pretty cool creature, and it is Dakon Blackblade. It costs 2 generic, 1 black, 2 blue, and 1 white. So this goes in the Chromium deck. And it says the stars below, so its power and toughness, are equal to the number of lands you control. So if you play this in your Chromium deck or in the 99 or Chromium in this card's 99, I mean, you're still trying to cast really high costing creatures, so odds are you're going to have a lot of lands. And this is just a really big beater. At minimum, in order to cast this, you'll have 6 lands. So it comes in as a 6/6 for 6 that just gets bigger whenever you play a land. I'd say this is a high B tier commander.
Yeah, I mean 6 for 6 is pretty good. Would have been nice if it had a keyword on it, but
yeah, my opinion, it's a B tier commander.
I can agree with that.
It doesn't go any higher because it doesn't have a keyword. Next up, we have Gabriel, Angel Fire. Gabriel costs 7 mana, 3 generic, 2 white, and 2 green. And it's a 4/4. Don't know why it's not an angel, but it's not. It says during your upkeep, Gabriel gains one of the following abilities until the end of your next upkeep, or until your next upkeep: Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Rampage 3. This is an S tier commander.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because it's a 7 mana 4/4.
That can gain Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Rampage 3. And Rampage means, yeah,
only if it's blocked.
Until your next turn. Which, yeah, and so if it's blocked, it's going to kill whatever.
I could still throw a 1/1 flyer in front of that. It doesn't even have to have flyer if you choose Rampage. I could just throw a 1/1 in front of
yes, but it's going to kill no matter what, it's going to kill whatever you throw in front of it. Or it can just gain Flying and swing over a board of non-flyers, or it could gain First Strike, which would make it so it could kill most threats that are toughness 4 or below, or it can gain Trample, and you buff it because it's in green-white, or the Rampage. I would say it's an S tier commander.
Very meh.
For its time, it is an S tier commander, in my opinion. What would you rank it?
D.
D?
That is...
It's so good! For the time?
I'd rather have Dakon. He's way better.
Yeah, but they're in 2 different colors. They're doing 2 different things.
Yeah, but Dakon's better. I don't know. That Angel is just very underwhelming for 7 mana.
Okay, so you say D, I say S. So we'll put it at high C.
Very underwhelming.
And the only reason I'm not saying low B is because of the art. It's an angel with Down syndrome is what's happening. All right, we're gonna move on. Yeah. This is probably one of the worst legends of the set. All of these ones with the land walk cancellations are bad because, not everything has land walk. So, this is Gosta Dirk. Yeah, Gosta Dirk or Gosta Dirk. Yeah, it sounds like you're the freaking Swedish chef from the Muppets. And it is a 7 mana 4/4, and it costs 3 generic, 2 blue, and 2 white. And it has first strike, and creatures with island walk may be blocked as though they didn't have it.
Well, he has an ability, 2 of them. Well, he has a keyword and an ability.
But he's a 4/4 for 7 with a alright keyword, but then a really bad second ability.
Well, he's automatically better than any of the legend cards without an ability.
Well, yeah, so he's not in F tier, but I don't think he makes it out of D.
Yeah, he's pretty The Angel's better.
I'd say he's a high F, low D.
Yeah.
And I'm only putting him in low D because of that sick artwork. Alright, okay, one of the sexiest commanders to come out this year. Just because of the artwork.
Nah.
She's seducing and
Arcades
then forcing
better,
a man to give her stuff. Anyway, this is Gwendolyn D. Corsi. And Gwendolyn is a 3/5 for 4 mana. So far, one of the best power and toughnesses for mana cost that we've seen so far. And it costs 1 red, 2 black, and 1 blue. And it says tap. Target player discards 1 card from his or her hand at random. This card's power may only be used on this turn. Or during your turn. So you can't use it as an interrupt. So it can only be activated at sorcery speed, which isn't as good. But power and toughness wise for mana, I'd say it's at the best out of all the other ones that we've seen. What do you think?
Its mana cost for its stats are pretty good. And I mean, just taking a card out of a person's hand during each of your turns at random, so they don't even get to choose, is pretty good. You could take their win out, their combo piece.
I don't think back then they had really any combo pieces. But you can get rid of their big creatures.
Get rid of stuff.
Yeah, they're big creatures. You can make them like discard like a Bolas or a Arcades or something big. So I'd say
probably a B.
Yeah, I was gonna say B or a really low A. The next card is Half Dane. I don't know why Dane is split into 2, but there's half of him. He is a XX for 4. 1 generic, 1 black, 1 blue, and 1 white. And it says, when Half Dane comes into play, he is 3/3. During your upkeep, Half Dane acquires the current power and toughness of target creature other than Half Dane. If there is no legal targets, Half Dane becomes a 3/3. So, this is for 4 mana at minimum of 3/3. And then beginning of each of your upkeeps, if you have anything bigger than a 3/3, it becomes bigger. However, the downside is if you have something smaller than a 3/3, it also gets smaller.
But it's just not you. You could target your opponent's biggest creature.
Yes, that too.
And with 3 other players, I guarantee there's going to be something bigger than a 3/3 on the board.
Yes.
So matching the biggest stats of the biggest creature
is pretty good.
It's pretty good for 4 mana.
My only one stipulation with this card is that it doesn't have a keyword ability.
But
it's still pretty
big.
Good. It's still really good. Like, it could block an Elder Dragon if it did not have flying. So, that's pretty good.
I'd say it's a pretty good A.
I'd say an A or even an S. We'll keep it at A tier. Next up, we have a commander that's actually still played today in 2022. This is Hazon Tamar. It is a 2/4 for 7 mana. 4 generic, 1 white, 1 green, and 1 red. On your next upkeep, after Hazon is put into play, put X tokens, or X token sand warriors into play, where X is the number of lands under your control. Treat the warriors as 1/1 white, green, and red creatures. If Hazon leaves play, all Sand Warriors are removed from the game. So, this card is still played today in token decks, or as a weird commander. I don't play it. Personally, I think today it's not good. But back then, if you have 7 lands, so you're getting a 2/4, so it can block like little dudes when your opponents attack and not die. But then on your next upkeep, you get a minimum of 7 power.
Yeah, 7/1/1s.
Yeah, 7 power split between 7 bodies. And that, I think, is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then also, if it gets killed and you have to cast it, then you're getting 9. And then 11. And, or if you wait till just late game, you could cast this, and then on your upkeep get a ton, but also, on that same turn, still have the mana to cast other things. So in my opinion, I'd say this is...
Pretty good S.
Yeah, I was going to say S or like a high A. This is our, I believe, first S tier commander. So...
Come on, Legends, do
Hazon.
better.
Hazon Tamar is the S tier commander of the day. Now we have the ugliest art in the set.
What do you mean?
Of...
Have fun pronouncing that.
Hunding Gorgnerson. Hunding Gorgnerson. We're gonna call him Huggy. We're calling him Huggy.
Okay.
Huggy is a 6 mana, 5/4. And it costs 3, 2 blue, and 1 white. And it has Rampage 1. This is D tier.
Agreed.
I would say F, but it has a keyword. So it's D. Next up, we have Jacques. Yeah, Jacques. Jacques.
I don't know.
Levert.
Something French.
Yes, something French indeed. Anyway, he is a 3/2/4/4, and his 4 is 1 generic, 1 white, 1 green, and 1 red. And it says all green creatures gain +0/+2.
But he's really a 3/4/4.
Yes, he's really a 3/4. Which is, I think, the best stat line so far, other than the copy dude that we just saw for mana wise. My one problem with him is that he only buffs green, and he's in 3 different colors. So, yeah, I'd say B. What you'd want to do is if you're more splashing the other 2 colors in this deck, the next commander we have would go in the previous commander's deck. However, she's still not good, especially as a commander. Jasmine Boreal, a very seductive art, I would say. She's a 4/5/5, 3 green, 1 white. 3 generic, 1 white, 1 green. She's a 4/5 with no abilities. F. Next up, we have the Ripped Tiger Man, a furry's wet dream. Jedit Ojanen. It is a 5/5/4/7, 4 generic, 1 white, or 1 blue and 2 white, with no keyword abilities. F. Okay. Next, we have Gerard of the Closed Fist. It is a generic 6/5 for 6 mana. It cost 3 generic, 2 green, and 1 red. As the commander, he's F. Alright, moving on. To Johan.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, to Johan. That's just it. It's just Johan. There's no title like all these other ones have. Johan is a 5/4 for 6, and he costs 3 generic, 1 white, 1 green, and 1 red. First of all, this is not a white and green commander. It should have been black-red. Because it's obviously a demon, and his color scheme is not white and green color scheme. So, in my opinion, his theme is an F. I'm going to put it at that. But his artwork is God tier. Now, he has an ability. If Jodah does not attack and
Johan.
Sorry, I'm building a Jodah deck, so my brain's all about Jodah right now. If Johan does not attack and is not tapped, any of your creatures may attack without tapping. So he gives all of your other creatures vigilance.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. I'd say,
He's
as a commander, I'd say he's like A or S. We're going to go A tier. We're knocking him down because of his color scheme. Does not fit the artwork. Next up, we have Casimir. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how you pronounce it. We have Casimir, the Lone Wolf. It is a 5/3 for 6. None of these commanders are really matching their color. Like, their art is not matching the color scheme. Anyway.
Because they're all old.
Well, yeah. For some reason, this card is blue and white. So 4 generic, 1 blue, 1 white. It's a generic 5/3. F. In fact, I would put it in the poop tier category, below F. Anyway, next up we have Ki. Takahashi, yeah. I was going to say Takashashi, but there's not a in the middle. Takahashi. Ki Takahashi is a 2/2 for 4 mana. 2 generic, 1 white, and 1 green. It has the ability to tap and prevent up to 2 damage to 1 creature.
C.
D. I'd say it's a low D.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
If it was 2 mana, a green and a white, I would put it in a C. But it is 4 mana. So it goes.
Yeah, get that out of here.
Next up, we have Lady Gonorrhea.
Yes.
We have Lady STD, and she is a 3/6 for 7 mana. 3 generic, 2 white, 2 green. And she has the ability to tap. Lady STD does 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature.
B.
I'd say C. Low C.
She's expensive. But
She does have a high toughness. Then I guess you can use her abilities and instant speed.
You can block a creature and still tap her.
Yeah.
So she'll be doing a total damage of 6 damage to whatever creature she blocks. If you do that 3 to it.
So you said C? Or what'd you say?
I don't
B?
remember.
I think you said B. I don't remember either. I think you said B.
She's not bad compared to
So are we putting her
everywhere
B?
else. Yeah.
Alright. She's a B. I don't agree with it, but she's a B. Alright. We have Queen Booby herself. The Queen of Side Boob. We have Lady Evangela. And Lady Evangela is 3 colors, 3 mana for a 1/2. 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 black. Not in that order. She has an ability that says tap a black and a white, and tap her, and target creature does no damage during combat this turn. I mean, that's alright.
Yeah, it's alright.
The problem is that she stops 1 creature. And there was a commander earlier that stopped all creatures.
Yeah, but that's still better than no ability.
But that commander also costs 3 in the same colors. Oh wait, no. But it was in green instead of white or black. And that did all creatures. Yeah. It also has a higher power and toughness, I believe. In my opinion, I'd say B.
Yeah.
Strictly because it only does 1 creature. Next up, we have Lady Aurea. She's a 7 mana, 7/4, 5 generic, 1 black, and 1 red. With no abilities. F.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Livonia Silone. She is a 4/4 for 6. And she reads... she's 2 generic, 2 green, 2 red. She reads First Strike and Legendary Landwalk. I don't know how many legendary lands were around this time. So I'm going to say D.
Yeah.
Cool. D tier. Alright. Next up we have Lord Mangus. This is a 4/3 for 6 mana. 3 generic, 2 white, and 1 green. This card has First Strike, and creatures with Planeswalk or Forest Walk may be blocked as though they didn't have either. I'd say out of the anti-walk abilities, I'd say this one's the best one, because this one stops 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I'd say D tier, not F like the others.
Yeah, I could see that.
Alright. Next, we have Marhalt Eld's Dragon. Alright, so Mr. Glizzy Gobbler over here is a 4/6 for 6. It costs 3 generic, 1 green, 2 red. and it has Rampage 1. D. Next up, we have, good luck me, we have Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar. It's a 3/3 for 5, and I've seen worse stat lines for that mana. It costs 3 generic, 1 black, and 1 blue, and you can pay X and tap it. Name a card. Opponent reveals X cards from his or her hand at random, or entire hand if he or she does not have enough cards. Opponent then discards any of those cards that match the one you named. You may only use this during your turn. So at sorcery speed, you can pay X, tap it, name a card, and make an opponent discard a card if you know they have it.
That is very...
By today's standards, it's not good. But back then, if you knew that they like...
How do you know, though?
You don't. Well, no, but if you played against the deck enough, you'd probably be like, okay, let's see if they have the win con. Or let's see if they have that big creature that I know about. Or let's see...
But, they still have 5 cards in their hand. If you want to hit it for sure, even though they might not even have it, you still have to pay 5 mana to do that.
It's true.
It is very, very, very... Nah.
I was going to put it at C.
Sure.
Next, we have my favorite Elder Dragon that's not Chromium. This one is Nicobolas. It costs 8. 2 generic, 2 blue, 2 black, and 2 red. For a 7/7 with flying. An opponent damaged by Nicobolas must discard their entire hand. Ignore this effect if the opponent has no cards left in their hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, pay one of each of its colors, or sacrifice it. God tier.
Compared to the other dragons, it's a lot better. But still, that one ability of paying 3 each turn is just such...
Yeah, but you're making your opponent discard their entire hand every time you hit.
If you hit.
Every time you hit, you can give it auras that will make it bigger, or give it trample. You could...
Oh, he doesn't even have to do a combat damage.
No, he just has to deal damage.
That's
so
right.
You can have an artifact that lets him tap to ping someone, and they discard their entire hand.
He's just mad expensive. He's
well,
like
all the Elder Dragons are.
A.
I put him in God tier. So...
We have a God tier.
I do. It goes everywhere from F to God tier. So I put him at God tier. And God tier means that, like, if I were playing back then, I would make him a commander.
Yeah.
Because you also have to look at every other card that's in his color category, and that also makes the deck pretty good. So in my opinion, Nicobolas is a God tier commander.
He's alright.
You put him at A,
Yeah.
I put him at God tier, we split in the middle, go S.
Go F.
Nicobolas, in my heart, you're a God tier commander. But we're going to go with S. Next up, we have one of the worst of the dragons. We have Palladia Morse. Palladia Morse is a 7/7 for 8, like all the others. It costs 2 generic, 2 white, 2 green, and 2 red. It's a flying trampler, and it has the same ability as all the other ones. You pay one of each of its colors or sacrifice it at your upkeep. The thing that I like most about this one is that it has trample. None of the other ones do. That would bump it up above the other ones, and I would say I'd put it at a B tier.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Pavel Maliki. It's a 5/3 for 6. 4 generic, 1 black, and 1 red. Her ability is you can pay a black and a red and give +1/+0 until end of turn. I would say it's a low C, high D.
Yeah.
We have one of the creepier commanders. We have Princess Lucreza. And Princess Lucreza is a 5/4 for 6. 3 generic, 1 black, 2 blue, and you tap to add a blue to your mana pool. You may use this ability as an instant. Like,
that
would
is
they
garbage.
be a good commander?
F.
I was thinking B.
It's a 6 mana dork, Dylan.
Yeah, and
It's a 6 mana dork.
yeah, but like,
But there is no but.
its art's cool.
No, we're not
its
basing off of
Fairy
art.
Tale Land is cool.
But it's a 6 mana tap for 1 blue.
Yeah, but its Fairyland is cool, and what a Fairyland is like its optimal circumstance. So
No.
it comes around and you pass, and then you can counter someone's stuff.
Well, No, it's 7 mana.
Okay, so you're saying F.
6
I
mana.
said B. I'm actually going to bump it down to a C, and we'll meet in the middle at a low D.
So bad.
The reason why it's not an F is because it actually has an ability. Anyway, next up we have Ragnar. He's a really buff old dude, except for he's a 2/2
For
3 mana, which is pretty good considering this set. So it's a blue, a white, and a green for a 2/2, and he also can pay a blue, a white, and a green, and tap it and regenerate target creature. I'd say it's pretty good.
That is alright.
I'd say B, because in total, in order to use his ability once, you have to pay 3 mana for him, and then 3 mana for his ability. So in total, you've paid 6 mana to regenerate 1 creature.
Yeah.
Next up, we have one of my favorite commanders from this set, just because of flavor, and I like her character and her art and everything. But she's not going to rank very high. We have Ramirez de Petro. Anyway.
The pedo.
We have the pedophile pirate. And she is a 4/3 for 6 mana. 3 generic, 2 black, and 1 blue. She is a 4/3 with first strike.
That is F.
Wait, that's a woman? Or a dude? Not to believe his tall tales. Especially when you ask his age. Yeah, they're for sure gay. I think flamboyant is the way that Magic was like, yeah, he's gay, but, you know. Alright, now we have probably the most metal of all of these commanders. We have Ramses Overdark. That also does not match his color scheme. That's okay. It's a 4/3 for 6. 2 generic, 2 black, and 2 blue. And it has tap. Destroy target creature which has an enchantment card played on it.
Yeah,
it's meh, but its artwork is dope.
Oh yeah, but you said we're not basing off of artwork.
No, but I said it could bump it up or lower it if we needed it to. If we needed another
It's
reason.
like a D. Like that ability.
I would give it a D. Yeah. I'm giving it a mid-range D because its artwork is dope, but it doesn't match the color scheme. Next up, we have Rasputin. They just made another Rasputin card in this last set.
Dreamweaver.
Rasputin the Dreamweaver, or just Dreamweaver. It is a 4/1 for 6, so already really bad. However, it is 4 generic, 1 white, and 1 blue. And I've actually seen this one be played as a commander. It's not good, but that's just by today's standards. Let's see if it holds up back then. Put 7 counters on Rasputin when brought into play. You may remove a counter to prevent 1 damage to Rasputin and add 1 generic mana to your mana pool. Or add 1 generic mana to your mana pool. Use this ability. This ability is played as an interrupt. Put 1 counter on Rasputin during your upkeep if you started this turn untapped. You may not have more than 7 counters on Rasputin. So, once again, we have a 6 mana dork, or a 6 mana prevent 1 damage to himself.
But he has 7 counters on him. You could, play him for 6 and still have 7 generic mana. Plus, he's netting you 1 mana every turn.
I'm going to give this guy
This guy's like an A.
an S or an A.
That's just a lot of mana.
It is a lot of mana, and he's a 4/1, so a freaking lightning bolt could kill him. Which
Yeah,
I think
but you
lightning
can
bolt was
remove-
around this time.
You can remove a counter and prevent.
I guess so, yeah. I'm giving him S. What do you want?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
A or S?
S.
S? Okay. Now we have one of the worst commanders of the day, but his art's pretty cool. We have Riven Turnbull. He's a 5/7 for 7, which is a pretty good stat line for the mana cost. 5 generic, 1 black, and 1 blue. You can tap him and add a black to your mana pool. Use this ability as an interrupt.
F.
I would say D, because he has an ability.
Yeah, but it's a shit ability.
Yeah, but it's a D.
You're never
because
gonna use a 5/7
we're giving
for
the
black.
generic ones that don't have abilities Fs, and we're giving ones that at least have an ability a D. All right, we have the sexiest commander of all this set. We have Roga of Kur Keep. He is a 5/5 for 6, 2 generic, 1 black, 1 red, and it says all kobolds of Kur Keep gain +2/+2. Then you may pay 3 red, or you may pay 3. You can pay 3 red during your upkeep, or Rogal and all kobolds of Kur Keep become tapped and come under your opponent's control. So, This is a really fun commander, just as an idea. I really like this commander. I would say it's an A tier, just because it's really funny.
But which opponent do you give him to? How do you decide?
I would just say it goes around like that. I don't know if it says target. I don't know if an updated version would say target opponent, but it just says under opponent's control. I would say you get to choose. If you don't get to choose, I'd say it's a B tier. If you do, it's an A tier.
But
just because I think
you're
it's
still
funny.
giving away your commander.
Yeah, but it's funny. All right, Rubenia, Soul Singer is a 3/2 for 5. 2 generic, 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 green. The only one where the artwork matches the coloring. And this says tap, gain control of target creature. Rubenia does not tap or untap this creature. If Rubenia becomes untapped, you lose control of this creature. You may choose not to untap Rubenia as during your untap phase. You also lose control of target creature if either Rubenia leaves play or you lose control of Rubenia. I like her.
That's pretty deep.
I'd say that's a god tier commander. You can steal a creature, and you can choose not to untap her, which means that you can still have that creature, and then once that creature is no longer relevant, you can have her untap and still a different creature. That's a god tier commander. I'm giving her god tier.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Rubenia, first god tier commander of the series.
Yay.
I tried to give it to Nicol Bolas, but you wouldn't let me.
Because he's shit.
No, he's not. Okay, next we have Sir Chandler of Eberron. He is a 4/7 for 6. 4 generic, 1 green, 1 white. Not in that order. And he has no abilities. F. Yay! I'm not reading this name. I'll try, though. Sivitri Skarzam is a 6/4 for 7. 5 generic, 1 black, and 1 blue. F. Next up, we have the Yu-Gi-Oh card. He is the Yu-Gi-Oh twins combined into one card. Soul Canar, the Swamp King, has Swamp Walk, and he's a 5/5 for 5 mana, which is really good. For 2 generic, 1 red, 1 black, and 1 blue, it has Swamp Walk, and it says Soul Canar's controller gains 1 life each time you cast a black spell. God tier commander.
Yeah.
Boom. You agree on God tier?
Yeah.
Alright. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Twins get a God tier commander. Next up, we have Stang. For 6 mana, you get a 3/4. And it's 4 generic, 1 green, and 1 red. For a 3/4 with, when Stang is brought into play, also put a Stang Twin token into play. Stang Twin token is a 3/4 green red legend. If Stang leaves play, remove the Stang Twin token from the game. If Stang Twin leaves play, bury Stang. I'd say this is a B tier commander.
Yeah.
Alright, the card that should have been named Sebastian, but was not, this is Senastian. Falconer. Everything's wrong about this card. It is a red-green, for some reason not a black-red, but a red-green commander. It is a 4/4 for 5. Pay 3 generic and 1 red and 1 green. It has the ability to tap, add 2 generic mana to your mana pool. You may do this as an interrupt.
F. It's a 5 mana dork.
It is the best of all the other mana dorks.
But all the
And because it costs less, it creates more mana. So it's still D, but it's a higher D.
But it's still bad.
Yeah, it is bad. But at least it has an ability. It's cheaper than all the other ones that have the same ability. And it creates more mana than the other ones that have the same ability.
I guess, but...
So that's why I'm saying high D.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Next up we have Tetsuo Umzawa. It is Grixis colors. It's a 3/3 for 3. Red, blue, black. And it has the ability. Pay 1 red, 2 black, and 1 blue. And tap it. Destroy target tap creature or target blocking creature. Tetsuo may not be a target of an enchantment creature spell. I'd put it in C or B. B or C.
Yeah.
What do you think? B or C?
C.
C? Okay, cool. We'll put it in C. Anyway, next we have the Lady of the Mountain. A generic 5/5 for 6 mana. 4 generic mana, 1 green, and 1 red. It's an F tier.
Agreed.
I give the art an A, though. Next up, we have Tobias and Drayon. And we have... It is a 4/4 for 5. 3 generic, 1 white, 1 blue. And it has no abilities. F. Next up, we have Tor Waki, which recently his son got a commander printing in this last set. And his son is a god tier commander. He, however,
is not
is D, because at least he has an ability, which is for 3/3 you pay 2 generic, 2 black, and 1 red, and you can tap him to have Torwaki deal 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. D. Because he has an ability. Next up, we have Torsten von Ursus. Or, if you really want to be funny, You're Sus.
You're Sus.
So, You're Sus is a generic 5/5 for 6. 1 white, 3 green, or 2 green and 3 generic. It's an F, but, in the 99, it's pretty decent if you have it in that one deck where he buffs the toughness of all green creatures. But as a commander, he's F. Okay, Tucknir Deathwalk is a 2/2 for 4. 2 green and 2 red. Flying, and it has an ability, pay 1 green, 1 red, tap this creature, and target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. A.
Like a BA, yeah.
What do you think, B or A? High A, high B or low A?
Probably high B, yeah.
High B? Alright. Next up, we have a really bad card, but later gets printed as a pretty cool card. So this is Drago. Drago. Not the Dragon or the Dragon Scion. This is just Drago. Drago. It's a 4/4 for 7 mana. Alright. 3 generic, 2 black, and 2 blue with first strike. And it has creatures with swamp block, maybe blocked, as if they did not have this ability.
D.
I would give it F, but it has an ability, so it gets D. Next up, we have Vevictus as Maddie. As Maddie? Who's your daddy? A 7/7 for 8, like all the other ones. 2 generic, 2 black, 2 green, and 2 red. It is a 7/7 with flying, and it has 3 different abilities that all do the same thing, just for a different color. So you can either pay a black, a green, or a red, and this creature gains +1/+0 until end of turn. Just like all the other freaking Elder Dragons, it has that retarded ability. At the beginning of your upkeep, pay one of each of its colors or sacrifice it. I'm giving this one, because it can buff itself, a B.
C.
Alright, we'll go C. So now we have another Yu-Gi-Oh card. This is Lady Debug, but of the Magic variety. This is Zira Aaron, but not how you're supposed to spell Aaron. Anyway, it is a 1/2 for 3. Green, red, black, and it has flying, and it has the ability play green, red, black, tap it, target player draws 1 card. I'm giving this a B tier. Alright, Keldon, that is it for 1994. What do you think? Who do you think was the best? Here, I'm going to zoom out here. Who do you think was the best commander from 1994? In my humble opinion, which you won't agree.
Probably Agus.
Agus?
Yeah.
Or Angus?
Angus, I don't know, yeah.
You'd say Angus?
Yeah.
My vote was actually either Nicobolas or there was another really good one that was just after.
The lady who stole shit?
Yeah, either Nicobolas or the lady who stole stuff.
But guess what? Angus
is still played today.
Angus can just say, Nicobolas, you don't get to deal damage this turn.
You know what I would say?
Huh?
Angus gets played as the commander, and then the Steely Lady gets played in the 99.
There's a better Steely Lady though later on.
Well, later on, but we're going by this year. No, we're going we're going by just this year. We're not going by next year. Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. But no, we're going by just this year. Best. You say Angus is the best. Okay, Angus, you won.
Yay!
The promo. What is it? VIP. There we go. MVP. There we go. The most valuable player. We're gonna go MVC.
The most
valuable card of 1994 as a commander. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do us all for the 1994 Commander Ranking video.
Woo!
Please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!